The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings, welcome, thanks for listening to the Paul Ponders on WATD 95.9, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. My name is Dave Boyle. I'm filling in for Paul Solano today. Unfortunately, Paul is attending a funeral for an employee of his at the Pearl Street restaurant today, and we'll be back next Saturday. Our condolences certainly go to Paul's bartender, Alicia, and her family. I had the pleasure, actually, of meeting Alicia a couple of times during some staff trainings I'd done at Paul's restaurant. A delightful young lady who, as always, left us too soon. As you know, Paul wears another hat as general manager of the Pearl Street Station restaurant in Malden. He always gives a huge shout-out to Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app. Well, as I said, this is a lot of fun, and this was almost my worst dream and nightmare come true at the same time. My guest got a little bit delayed, but is now here. He's coming into the building shortly. But again, I love to do my shout-outs. So to my good friend Mike on the North River, thank you, as always, for listening. To Senor Pablo down in Marshfield, who's probably sitting on the beach. Always good to know you're listening. To my dear friend Cyrus up in Dedham, who's not feeling well. Chicken soup is on the way. And to Will and JB, hopefully you guys are listening. It's always great to know you guys are around. But this is so much fun. I get to fill in for Paul every now and then, and this was definitely a last-minute situation. But I said, you know, what I'd like to do, the man of the moment, the man, the myth, the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, from Thursday night, usually WATD Radio, is it a 7 o'clock time slot or a 6 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. The immortal Greg Barrasso is with me. So this is always a pleasure. So I look forward to this. I look at how we do some of this stuff here. So this is season 2 and show number 28 for Paul Ponders in the slot of The Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. Yes, my older brother. I'm the younger, better-looking one. Arthur is the executive consultant for Paul Ponders' radio show. And as I said, he is my brother. He is not my executive consultant, though. So that's half the fun. Behind the glass, the Wizard of Oz. Hello, Tim. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Dave. Nice to see you in the driver's seat today.
Well, so we got a chance to talk auto racing, and I know this is another big weekend for you. It's truck racing, I think, this weekend.
Well, we had the truck race last night. Scott Riggs got it done. He's great. He's great on all the courses. They're all out in California, San Diego, at the Coronado Air Force Base. They have converted some roads on the airport to a 3-mile road course with 16 turns.
That's amazing.
It's crazy how much they're pushing the trucks. I can't wait to see O'Reilly race later today in the Cup Series tomorrow. The way they smacked the wall. In fact, one of the trucks hit the wall so hard for pit road, it like they connected somehow to the pavement. It like opened up.
Oh my heavens!
Oh yeah, this is going to be wild. Ben Bennett is out there from Miles on Motorsports. You hear about it Wednesday night right here on Miles on Motorsports. And shout out to my friends Dan and Lisa, who are out there, too, for the weekend.
Well, anytime you get a chance to spend a weekend in San Diego, not knocking Boston, but this is San Diego weather 52 weeks a year. We're getting it in June, so let's enjoy it.
Baby.
But you and I did have a quick point, Tim, if you don't mind, a little back and forth here. We talked about how the racing community came out when Mr. Busch passed away.
Yeah.
And I thought that was nice, and we were kind of joking. I said, I don't know of many other sports that do that. I mentioned hockey. I said I was not a hockey player. One of my other brothers is a big-time conditioning coach, and I remember doing the Travis Roy benefit years ago. And I said the people that came out for that were truly amazing to see Bobby Orr like sitting in an audience, and I'm saying, this is Bobby Orr, this is Derek Sanderson. These are legends in Boston. It was amazing. And he said the tributes that they did for this young man in racing, it was amazing.
And one of the drivers did a tribute just by creating some merchandise. He's not looking to make money off it. It's tribute. But Denny Hamlin who was teammates with Kyle Busch. Back when Kyle Busch raced the 18, usually you saw it as an Interstate Batteries car. Mostly it was the M&M's car. It was the yellow car with all the M&Ms on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Kyle Busch's car in the 18. So what Denny did with permission from Joe Gibbs Racing, because when he left us, he was racing the number 8 for Richard Childress. He combined together the 8 of Richard Childress and the 1 from his 18 and made a different stylized 18 using the 1 from the Joe Gibbs car and the 8 from Richard Childress. It's pretty cool. He had a big flag that he stuck on the car before he did some donuts 2 weeks ago.
Well, I know you're probably the expert on this. I remember Joe Gibbs as the coach of the Washington Redskins, if that is correct. That's the same Joe Gibbs, is it not?
Yes, very same one. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Showing my age.
I think he won a couple of at least one Super Bowl, maybe more than one.
They used to have the Hogs. They used to call them the Hogs.
Yes, yeah.
That has to be 70s, Greg? Maybe
70s,
80s?
Yeah, 70s, 80s, yeah.
I worked for a guy doing football camps back then when I was, it was my college summer job, probably the best summer job I ever had.
Nice.
And I would travel around the country to Sonoma State, to UCal Riverside. We had Fairfield University. We had Utah State. And you get to work with all these pros. So back then I worked with Joe Theismann, who was the quarterback for them. Still the most gruesome injury I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if you've ever seen that video of him breaking his leg.
No.
Oh.
It's awful, Tim.
I changed the station.
And it was actually 3 Super Bowls Coach Gibbs got.
He did win 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, not quite Belichickian, but that's not bad.
But and to go from coaching to owning these magnificent race teams he has, because all of them are doing well. Some better than others, but he has a great operation going.
Well, think of the success level to be that good in 2 separate professions. And I mean, they're night and day. But I'm sure these skills that come in organizational-wise and principle-wise and discipline, And
not only 2 different professions, also at least 2 different divisions, too. He's got cars in the Cup Series and the O'Reilly Series.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe even some trucks, too. I'm not sure, but yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
Big operation.
Pro football must pay pretty well. What do you think, Greg?
I don't think they're lined up at our food drive twice a month. I haven't seen any. Timmy, do you think?
No, I don't think so.
We have
either.
some free jacks here, but they're just helping us to give the food away. But I don't see any pro or semi-pro or banana ball players lining up. I think they're doing okay.
We'll have to talk to them about that. We have Shelley coming on in a minute or so. That's pretty good. Well, Greg, we had a little time to talk as we wait for our first guest, but thanks for coming in. You gave me a little bit of a hard scare. A friend of ours, Rick, said that I sound good on the radio, and he said to give you a shout-out for all the good work you do.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks. Believe it or not, I got blocked in. I stopped to get gas, and I got blocked in by a trailer truck. That was there to deliver gas.
Yeah.
So I had to wait for 3 people to get gas so he could move, so I could move. So here I am.
Oh.
Here I be. Funny to sit on the other side of the table.
I just say, how does that feel?
Easy. It's easy. I feel no pressure. It's all on you.
Well, the fun part for me, the gentleman Paul that does this,
yeah.
Paul and I have known each other since elementary school. And, we grew up in the North Shore.
Yeah.
And I want to say he helped out my brother Arthur when Arthur was doing the show. And little by little, he kind of took it over.
Yeah.
My brother does battle with Parkinson's disease. And he's doing well. But it's he's 69 years old, and it can be a bit of a challenge. So Paul had asked me a couple of times to fill in. I've never done radio in my life, but I have more fun doing this show.
That's the way I started here. 13, 14 years ago, I had never been on the radio in my life. No college training, no communications, anything. And I cold called Ed Perry and asked him if he'd consider doing a show dedicated to veterans.
Yeah.
And he said, gee, that sounds like a good idea. Come on in. We had a beer, and 13 years later, we're still doing stuff. So it seems to be a benefit to some people. I think we're helping a lot of veterans and their families with their benefit programs.
Well, before I bring Shelley on 1 second, I'm going to present this to you. We had done an event in Pembroke, and I think I'd mentioned it to you, but Pembroke supports our veterans. It's an extra large shirt. I apologize. It might be a little on the larger side.
Thank you very much. I just look small under this XXX, XXX shirt.
It's a big heart. But hey, let me get on with Shelley Wolf. Is Shelley with us right now, Tim?
Yes, she is.
Shelley, good afternoon. It's Dave. I'm filling in for Paul. It is so nice to hear your voice. My guest is Greg Brasso from Veterans Voice Radio, and I learn something every time I listen to you. You are amazing.
Well, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it, and welcome, Greg, and thank you for all the work you guys do with the vets. So that's something very dear to my heart, so I appreciate that work.
Well, welcome, Shelley. It's Greg Brasso. Thanks, and we're happy to do what we do, and I'm happy to be sitting here beside my old buddy Dave. And now I've met you, Shelley, so you can consider yourself being drafted into the Veterans Voice non-paid Army. So you'll be getting your draft notice soon.
Fantastic.
Because we're doing a tribute to Deborah Sampson. And for those of you who may not know who Deborah Sampson is, Deborah Sampson was the United States' first woman veteran wounded in battle. She's from Plimpton. She tried out for the Revolutionary War as a girl. They sent her home. She tried again, changed her name as a boy, entered the Army, served in battle, was wounded, and when she was being treated for her wounds, they found out that he was a she, and the doctor and the nurse took her home, and she became a famous abolitionist, and we now dedicate the Deborah Sampson Memorial in Massachusetts every year to the woman veteran that does outstanding work in the veterans community. So that's my Deborah Sampson story. So I hope that didn't
I appreciate that.
you.
I did not know that story. So
yep, little fact, but only here in Massachusetts. You know, we have supported our veterans for many years. So we hope to continue on.
So Shelley, what do you have for me this week?
Well, Dave, today I am going to be talking about using technology to preserve family stories and memories. You know, this weekend we're celebrating Father's Day, and we just celebrated Juneteenth, and summer is beginning as many families are gathering together or even possibly relocating. And it got me thinking about something around how technology is just this incredible, powerful tool, not just to communicate, not just to find, directions or pay those bills, but to help preserve stories such as veterans. So because one day, the photos and recipes, traditions, memories that live in our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, elders, those information pieces are sitting around the dinner table any longer. And so what we want to talk about is how this technology really gives us the ability to capture these stories and before they're lost. So as history lives on in people, Juneteenth reminds us just that history isn't just found in books, right? History lives in the people. It's in the family traditions, old photos, recipes, military stories, first jobs, childhood memories, right? Lessons passed down through generations. And Father's Day is a perfect reminder that these stories live inside our fathers and grandfathers and all those father figures out there. So what I want to talk about is using your phone as a storytelling tool, one of the most powerful tools of preserving memories. We already have the smartphone in our pockets, and you can use it for voice memoing, recording videos, photos, or note apps, just to capture those stories if you want to write something. You yourself can record your own voice. You can also ask someone in your family. And I'm going to give some prompts today that I really think are worthwhile when thinking about just getting people talking about their history. Like, what was your first job? How much did you get paid for your first job? What advice would you give your younger self? What family traditions do you hope to continue? What do you remember most about your parents or grandparents? Or what's a real historical moment that shaped your life? What would your 15-year-old self say about where you are today in life? Those answers all become treasures, right? Again, you could use a voice memo, capture photos, do a recording on your Google phone or Apple phone, so those are all ways to really capture stories and to be able to put those together and share. And, so many times, when thinking about even veterans, right, we don't know so many of these stories, and there's such important stories to pass along and make sure that, are represented and live on. So before I continue on, I do want to check in and jump to the tech myth of the week. Tech myth is I need fancy equipment to preserve my family history. And the reality is that is not true. Some of the most valuable recordings are simple conversations, but they just happen to be captured. Again, you don't need video, you just need audio. But if you want the video, that also adds to it. The quality of the story is what truly matters the most. Now, we've been talking a little bit about AI over the last couple of weeks, and AI can help preserve those memories too. The one thing that we can think about is how AI can organize our photos for us. They can transcribe interviews for us, identify faces and dates that we may not know, translate stories, create family books and timelines. It's just another way that we can think about preserving memories. But it cannot replace people, and that is the important thing that we have to remember. It's still up to us to share those stories, tell those memories so that they're also not erased, nor are they altered, right? These are personal stories. So this week, I'd like to also present a Father's Day and Juneteenth challenge to everybody, and that is taking 10 minutes. Put out your phone, record one story. Maybe it's dad, grandpa, or maybe an aunt or uncle. Ask them, what story do you never want your family to forget? You may be surprised what you actually hear. So today, I'm also going to give you a bonus tech myth, which is everything important is already on the internet. And the fact of the matter is that the most important stories lie within ourselves that have never been written down. So they only exist within memories of families. So again, I just want us to think about how we're preserving those, whether it's recording a family story, scanning old photos, labeling and naming dates on photos, so important. You know, I see photos from so long ago, and it's like, these are such rich photos. I'm like, who are they? When did that happen? Save those recordings in multiple places, and definitely share them with younger generations. So again, as we reflect on these precious times in our lives, I ask us to use not just technology to consume information, but to really preserve it. Remember, as you share a memory with a loved one, record your story, and one day you will become the greatest gift that you've left behind. So today's tech tip is technology changes quickly, but those stories and memories and human connections will always remain timeless with us.
Shelley, that's absolutely amazing. And I always hear about things, and this is, my lack of experience. And people say, well, you can store these in the cloud.
Yeah.
Greg and I are looking up in the sky going, how do we get it there?
Is it raining? Is it going to rain? What's going to happen here?
If you can, I know it's probably not an easy question to answer in like 30 seconds, but how does someone who is a novice record this stuff and say, gee, I want to save this, for my kids, my grandkids? How do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the easiest ways, especially if you use Google Drive or the Google platform, there's something called Google Drive, and you can just upload it right into that folder up in there, and that's going straight to the cloud. You can back up, so if you're recording it on your phone, you can back it up again. Wherever your email is going to usually has a cloud service, and you can upload it to that space. I am a big believer, one thing you might want to think about is putting on YouTube and put it under a private so it can't get out to the world. You want to make sure you set the private setting, but then you can share that link, and anyone who has the link, because not everyone's going to have access to your Google Drive or your cloud, right. But at least here you can share a link with folks that, again, the general public cannot get access to as long as you set it to private.
That is absolutely amazing. Shelley, I learn every time I speak with you. You could be one of the most fascinating people I've ever listened to. I greatly appreciate you. Come on. Can you tell our listeners how they can contact you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can be reached at info@podproentertainment.com.
Outstanding. Well, thank you. Paul will be back next week. I think I'm going to fill in for him July 4th weekend, so hopefully I'll get to speak with you then. But Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great show, and I look forward to listening.
Nice talking to you, Shelley.
You too.
Well, I love when Paul writes his script and always says to me, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts, it's time to pay some bills. Let's hear from our sponsors. Tim, take it away, sir.
Have you tried Bryantville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. chicken wings and fingers, and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were 3 deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email mike@northeasternfence.com. What is your home doing to your health? How is the air quality in your home? You can breathe easier with Environmental Resources, an indoor air quality company you can count on, providing healthy solutions for your home or business. Environmental Resources specializes in mold inspections and testing for toxic type molds, mold removal assessments, musty odors, allergens, and excess moisture and dampness. Environmental Resources is a locally owned and established business for over 23 years, located in Hanover, Route 53. Call Environmental Resources today for solutions for a healthy home and healthy people. No mold, no allergens, no indoor pollution. Environmental Resources, 781-248-9975 at airenvironments.com. Again, that's Environmental Resources, 781-248-9975, airenvironments.com for better health. Andy Provatola.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. If you would like to call in or text the show, 781-837-4900, or on the Odyssey app. That is AUDACY. Paul likes to do certain things at this time, and one of my guests actually hit me and said they're feeling better. So, Cyrus, over in Dedham, I'm glad to hear you're much better and not under the weather. Again, chicken soup is on the way, so we'll take care of you from there. Funny thing is, I was listening to the background there for a second, Greg, and the blowing in the wind. That's the old Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yes.
And then I realized the company that was being recommended, Environmental Resource, an old friend of mine, Andy Provatola. We grew up together.
Really?
So, yeah, as I said, why do I know the name of that company? I said, that's Andy's.
Yeah,
so
once you know one day, Andy Provatola, I mean, I think you remember them all.
Yeah. Was it at this point in the program, Paul usually has a segment with health and wellness survival tips with Ms. Sharon Filior. Sharon is taking the weekend off. Please remember to check out Sharon's YouTube channel for her Filia All Fall prevention method. But in studio, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to have the gentleman sitting across from me who does more for veterans, never takes anything, says, you know, I would say that I'm getting to the point now, I say when 2 people call me, I say yes. And that was Peter Brown and Christine James. When Greg Brasso calls me now, it's like, yes, what can we do, and then how can we do it? Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from his Thursday night radio show at 7 o'clock here on WATD 95.9. Greg Brasso, thanks for being in the studio.
Dave, it's a pleasure to be in with you. I'm glad I could fill the slot of your brother and Paul and all that, and we'll help maybe sell some fences to keep some of the ugly neighbors away. I was in the fence business for about 30 years, so I can appreciate the ugly neighbors concept. It's very true. It's very true. Or it's about dogs.
Yeah.
Keeping them in or out.
Yeah.
So which side of the fence do you sit on?
It all depends if you have the dog or don't have the dog.
Yes.
That's half the battle.
Yes.
So, I won't talk about a ton of different things with you, but I want to brag about you and Wolfie and the rest of the gang. You do the food drive outside of WATD here once a month.
Yep.
Again, this is kind of your chance to brag about you a little bit, and I know that's not normal for you, but
Well, because when I talk about Wolfie and I talk about Jenny Babcock and Justin Lutini, co-hosts, but I talk about the Goon Squad that helps put it together. You know, we have 30 volunteers every month that show up. That Wolfie goes out and fills his trailer a couple times with food, and then brings it back to the station. But the morning of the giveaway, all the volunteers that we have bag up and box up all the goodies that Wolfie has collected. We get them all ready to go. There's a big pile of goods of food that we're going to offer. And then at about 9:15, the doors open and we start filling the automobiles up with food. And about 20 seconds later, the people are on their way. And there's a question, Dave, that we have at the food drive-through.
Yeah.
Who smiles more? The people getting the food or the people giving the food?
right.
Because it's such a. They all want to give. They all want to be part of a team. So Wolfie's concocted this Goon Squad that shows up every month, rain or shine. People come from New Hampshire, from the Milford area, from Rhode Island. They drive all over just for the fact of being part of the group and part of the crew and sharing the camaraderie. And I think because it's a lot of senior type people. For some of them, I think it's the only socialization that they receive. So they all live it up when they get here on that second Thursday of every month.
Well, again, I think that's a tribute to you, the organization you put together, the food you're able to get. I've been told you say no to no one. You don't check IDs or credentials or say, prove you're a veteran. It's basically the honor system and rain or shine. I do remember, I'm going to say about 6 months ago, listening to, I think it was Christine James, and you guys were out there, and it was like a deluge.
Yeah.
And I said, you got to love these people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. My father would say, I'm not sure if you're crazy or you're stupid or both.
Yes. Yes, that applies to most of us that volunteer all their time at the Veterans Voice because unfortunately, we don't pay any salaries. So the people that we have are there because they want to be there. The guests that we have on our show, and really the guests are what make my show. Because nobody wants to listen to me and Wolfie blather on about, is that hot tide coming in and Hull and Wolfie's rowing across the Riviera. But we bring in, we think, insightful guests with a message for the veterans community, whether it's about health care or disability insurance, education. And unfortunately, Dave, a lot of it is centered around mental health these days. When my show started 13 years ago, I couldn't spell mental health if you gave me 3 tries.
Yeah.
Now it's on every one of my show.
Yeah.
And we talk about 988 and the benefits of dialing 988 if you need someone to talk to. We were one of the first shows to carry it because Jenny Babcock works with the Plymouth County Suicide Prevention Coalition. She's one of our outstanding co-hosts, so we feed all those questions about suicide and mental health and how to recognize it, and just, boy, it's just it's just such a big subject that it's unfortunately it's taking a lot of time on our show, but it's something that we have to do, I think.
Oh, I can imagine. I want to come back to that topic in a second, but how did you said you spent 30 years in the defense business. How does a guy who spends 30 years in the defense business end up doing a radio show that, I don't care where you go on the South Shore, people, what's funny? I'm not sure if they would know you by sight, but everybody knows your voice. You have a very distinctive voice, as you can tell.
Blame Ed Perry.
Yeah, blame Ed Perry.
Blame Ed Perry, and Timmy McKinney's been with me, I think. You've been here on the Veterans Voice doing some of the...
I've pushed the buttons for you a few times.
Yep,
yeah.
A couple of times. So
how did it start?
It started while I was at UMass Boston, and I was working for the Veterans Upward Bound program, and that helped veterans get acclimated back into school when they got through serving, and give them some free courses and things. And we were trying to gain publicity and notoriety for the program, but no media outlet would talk to us unless we had a $20,000 marketing salary.
Yeah.
Well, marketing budget. Well, we had zero. You know, can you help us out? Can you do a PSA? Can you do a... no, bang, bang, all the doors kept on closing. One day out of frustration, I cold called WATD and got through to Ed Perry, talked to him and asked him about my idea. And he being a veteran, he was very kind and open to the idea. And 4 months later, he led me into the studio. And I thought he was going to help me and guide me. He closed the door and walked out, and he said, "Good luck, Greg." And there
Good luck,
it is.
have fun.
Yeah.
But for you to do one show, you never come back.
Oh God, I don't know. And my key guest that night was Dave Henke. He was the outreach director for the Boston VA healthcare system.
Sure.
Calls me the day before. He said he can't make it. His car broke down. So, Dave. I said, Dave, get out on the highway, wait for me, and I'll come and pick you up. I came and picked him up in Boston, brought him to the show. We did the show, and we drove home afterwards, and that was day one. It's gotten easier since then, a little bit, but
yeah.
But the VA has been a great help to me, a great source of assistance, and it's too bad that a lot of the veterans, Dave, don't take advantage of their benefits.
Yeah,
they have them, and they for some reason or another someone has it worse off than me. I don't want to take it from somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not that bad. Oh, I don't need anything. Meanwhile, their prescription medicine is going up. Their eyeglasses bills are going up. Hearing aids are going up. As they're getting old, they're getting new maladies, as everyone does when they get old. And a lot of the veterans applied when they were younger, and they were turned down for some reason, because before it wasn't as simple as it is today. So they get frustrated, too much paperwork, I don't want to deal with it, the heck with it. But now there's a veteran services officer in every town in the state of Massachusetts, every town with over 12,000 people, and they're full-time, for the most part, full-time people that will counsel the veterans on what benefits they qualify for, how to apply for them, how to apply for disability, how to apply for real estate tax abatement. There's so many benefits that then, unfortunately, when the veteran passes away, there's a lot of survivor benefits that the wives don't know about, because the veterans didn't know, so they didn't know to tell their wife, so they never dealt with it.
All right.
But here in Marshfield, we have Karen Paulette and Lisa Potts, two amazing young ladies that know all the ins and the outs of getting through all the paperwork, and they make it very easy, very simply. All you have to do is give them what they ask for, and they'll send it all in the right direction and get you taken care of.
That's absolutely amazing. Hey, we have to take a quick break. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and then you and I will grab a little more time together, if you don't mind, sir.
Sounds good, David.
Tim, take it away, sir.
Have you tried Bryantville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were three deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email mike@northeasternfence.com. What is your home doing to your health? How is the air quality in your home? You can breathe easier with Environmental Resources, an indoor air quality company you can count on, providing healthy solutions for your home or business. Environmental Resources specializes in mold inspections and testing for toxic-type molds, mold removal assessments, musty odors, allergens, and excess moisture and dampness. Environmental Resources is a locally owned and established business for over 23 years, located in Hanover, Route 53. Call Environmental Resources today for solutions for a healthy home and healthy people. No mold, no allergens, no indoor pollution. Environmental Resources, 781-248-9975 at airenvironments.com. Again, that's Environmental Resources, 781-248-9975, airenvironments.com for better health. Andy Provatola.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thank you for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. This is David Boyle filling in for Paul today. Our call-in number is 781-837-4900. Usually at this point in the program, we have the financial wing of Olympic Proportions segment sponsored by PS&L Marketing Group and Riverworks Credit Union, NMLS number 410564, with Mr. Paul Crowley of RWCU and Olympian and former Boston Bruins. We got Dave Jensen, who is a great guy, senior loan officer. Both Paul and Dave are taking this weekend off. But again, I get to sit here and talk to my good friend Greg Brasso. Greg, we got a big event. I say we, right? I'm throwing myself into this with you.
Yes. You've been recruited.
I am officially part of the Goon Squad, apparently.
You have been drafted, unfortunately. Your letter's in the mail, and the check is not. We're withholding that to see how you work out.
And I get a shirt with a big 0 on the back, so that'll be good.
We'll see. We'll lend you one of Wolfie's sold shirts.
There we go. Tell us about the event, please.
Well, on July 18th, we're organizing, along with the city of Quincy, our 7th annual Veterans Career and Benefits Music Expo at Pageant Field in Quincy. We have about 125 tables of benefit providers. The VA is there with departments that could that have everything from basic health care questions to Parkinson's awareness programs, and we will have the Parkinson's Pavilion once again at our show, because, David, the military make up 11% of all Parkinson's sufferers.
That's amazing.
11%. It should be 1%. But because of Agent Orange, because of the burn pits, because of the environmental hazards, they're getting all of these God-foreseen, unknown problems, especially as they get older. And now they're even seeing, Dave, with the Vietnam vets, that some of the bad genes are getting passed on through the generations.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It's unreal. So there's a lot of problems to address, but the VA is acting on it.
Yeah.
And they've enacted a tremendous amount of new benefit programs, easier to qualify for, and once again, in everybody's town hall, there's a veteran services officer who's trained and is there to help you solve your problems, and they can answer just about any problem they have relative to military service.
That's amazing. Again, I'm one of those people, when I see people, with the Vietnam era hats on or whatever, and I always say thank you for your service. I will tell you talk about percentages.
Yeah.
Probably 95% of them say I was proud to do it.
Yeah.
And I find that absolutely amazing. Again, I will brag. I am the proud son. My mother was a Marine in World War II.
Thank you for her service.
My mother wore combat boots.
Wow.
My dad was an MP in the Army. I had my mom was one of 8, 2 girls and 6 boys. All 6 boys were military. One of my uncles was Green Beret.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
is pretty. They used to tell me that they test 100 and only 3 pass.
Yeah.
And he was number 1 of the 3.
Wow. Wow.
And Greg, into his 80s, the man did 200 push-ups and 200 sit-ups a day into his 80s. You could give me the year to do 200 push-ups, and I'm not sure if I could do it.
Yeah. At this point in time, I'd lose count anyways. I'd have to get to 10 and
One a day.
start over. Wow, that's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I was always so proud of that fact. But how can people help you with this event? This is a major event. It's a major undertaking. I know we're trying to find some food vendors and different people.
Well,
so if you're out there listening and you know me from the restaurant business, the hospitality business, my friend Greg needs some help.
We're reaching out to 3 or 4 restaurants. And what we want is someone, a restaurant, to adopt a macaroni and cheese serving that would bring 6
Like a chafing dish type thing.
yeah, full of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
And give it away under their restaurant's name.
Yeah.
Would like someone to give away salads. Once again, under the restaurant name. Maybe pizza is a nice serving, that nice finger food. We're going to have about 1,000 to 1,500 people there, and we don't have to ask you to feed 1,500 because we're going to serve hot dogs and hamburgers as just our general fare we do every year. But I wanted to not fancy it up, but change it up.
Yeah.
This is the 7th year we're doing it. At halftime, we're shutting the festival down, and we're going to sing Happy Birthday to the United States of America.
That's amazing.
Yes, and we're also going to be honoring Deborah Sampson that we talked about. We're going to have the new Deborah Sampson Award winner, who was with the Commonwealth of Mass, and is a great lady. We're going to give her a bouquet of flowers and congratulate her for her achievement. But we're also having the other 7 past winners on stage as well.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And we're getting them red, white, and blue carnations as a thank you and just as a notice, because the women veterans are the fastest growing population within the veterans community, and they're out there and they're forming great assets to the service and what they do. And they're flying combat missions every day.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I see these women that helicopter pilot, fight a helicopter. Come on. I mean,
I think it's amazing. I think it's fantastic.
Unreal. They made huge leaps forward, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So we take care of the women veterans that are there. All the women VA health clinics are there with all their different sets of parameters for men and women.
Yeah. Is it a bit of a job fair also?
Yes, we're going to have several agencies looking to hire some vets. Mass Hire will be there to help with resume writing, counseling on services. We'll have who else are we going to have there?
Are they doing more? Let me ask the question, Ray. Is it more of a like a full-time job thing, or people looking for like little part-time positions? Both. Okay.
Both. There's so many positions out there, Dave. The employment arena seems to me only about 80% full.
Yeah.
Most come about 20% short.
Yep.
So you can pretty much pick your poison or whatever is convenient. And the veterans are so sought after because of what they are and what they've done that people want to line up and hire them, and they rise to the top very, very quickly, and no matter what shape of business they get involved in.
All right, now, do you guys have a website?
Yes, we do. VeteransVoiceNetwork.org.
Okay.
It's okay, but it's me and Wolfie. We do the best we can with what we have. So we do more of our stuff talking and meeting people. Wolfie and I are out in the community 7 days a week, bothering somebody, and so we do that, and we do it the old-fashioned way with paper and brochures and flyers, and trying to. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, oh no, it's again. I hate to say that a lot of times the world is changing around me, and I'm still, a handshake guy. I tell people, I started with a new company about 6 or 8 months ago, and I showed up in a suit and tie the first day of work, and people looked at me like I was from a foreign country or a different planet, and they're like, "The guy's wearing a suit and tie."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "That's how I was trained to go to work."
I have 15 suits and ties in my closet that are right there. I've thrown away like 5 or 10. I'll never wear them again.
Yeah.
And I never want to wear them again. Now it's just, this is getting dressed up.
Well, it's funny. I'm just thinking of a million different things here. There's some parents out there listening. Maybe you have a son who is tech savvy, looking maybe for an internship in high school or college. The Eagle Scouts, I know, do a ton of projects.
Sure.
And some of these kids are so far beyond anything I can do. Beyond the website, is there a phone number someone can call you?
Yes, absolutely. And I give out my personal phone number because. That's the way we do things. We do things one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So it's my phone number is 781-985-1551. And I answer the phone directly, or you can call me at WATD and leave a message if you have a problem, or if you know of any veterans that are in need of anything. If they're going to lose their house, if they have a health problem, if they have an alcohol problem, if they have a spousal problem, we have cures, and it's harmless. It doesn't cost anything. The men and women that are there to help are there to help.
Can someone call you anonymously? Like you or Wolfie?
They do all the time.
They do. Okay, so they can sit there and say, "Hey, I've got a neighbor. He's too proud." We did a project over in Pembroke where we cleaned up, kind of a yard for a guy, and the Eagle Scouts stepped up big. A lot of parents stepped up big.
We get a call a week, and one of the calls that I'm glad now we finally have a remedy is one of the things that people were searching for were ramps into the houses when people got disabled.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to take them down and take them away because the person either didn't need it or for whatever reason. Well, we found out recently that the VA has an approved ramp installer. They'll come to your house, measure it up, and install a ramp of whatever size, shape, or form you need. They'll outfit your shower with senior hold-on things and all of that stuff. And it's something that the veterans population is now over 65 years old in Massachusetts.
Oof.
It's getting old, and they're getting old. Yeah. So it's time that they need some taken care of. So we have plenty of fingers to take care of them. All we have to do is identify the problem, and luckily we've been able to solve most of our problems.
Well, my friend, you have been a wealth of information. It was my honor to have you in the studio. You were kind enough. I don't know if you remember, we did a veterans event in Pembroke. We raised about $8,000 or $10,000 for the Veterans Memorial. You let me on the air on a Thursday night. I think I called you 2 days before.
Yeah.
So you were great.
I've always had a warm spot for Pembroke, because I've also met one of my good friends now, Bill Teeley. Bill is with Boston Scientific, and now I've developed a relationship with Boston Scientific corporately. So it all works out.
Well, that's amazing. Well, said. It was a very fast hour, my friend. You made me sweat a little at the beginning, but I still love you. Stay tuned for WATD for the memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. I love listening to his show. I would say he's one of the few guys that knows more about music than me.
Does he come up with that stuff out of his brain?
He's like an encyclopedia.
I listen to him. How he knows
it's all
everything.
stored in his brain. It's all there.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen a guy with a note. He just comes in and does his thing. He's got that voice. You'd kill for that. But hey, listeners, go to paulponders.com. PaulPonders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders on WATD episodes. Thanks again to Tim, to Arthur, to Shelley, to my dear friend Greg, our advertiser, but really thank you for listening to WATD World and Beyond. My name is Dave Boyle. Keep Paul pondering, #Indeed. Thanks, everybody. Make it a great weekend. Happy Father's Day.